How'd it go from being one of the most hyped games of the year to literally the most bottom of the tier list that I've seen a game fall in a long time? When this game came out in beta, everybody was excited for it. Everybody was excited to try and get their hands on Xdefiant. If not, this game was probably the most hyped game of 2024 at the beginning of the year. Everybody was waiting for it to come out. I mean, you don't just get the nickname COD Killer without being, somewhat of a competent FPS right here. But then things happen. We like to call that Ubisoft, and then things go downhill. This is a video about the rise and fall of Xdefiant. What's up, guys? Right quick before we get into the video and everything, go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We've been doing really good recently. I really appreciate all the support. We've been making a lot of Ubisoft videos recently. We're going to continue to do that until obviously the company's not around anymore. Let's get right back to the video. So before we go any further, let's take a step back and look at the whole beta history of Xdefiant right here. When this game originally came out, it was looking very promising, especially even in the beta. Now don't get me wrong, every beta has problems. There's obviously going to be complaints in every beta, including Black Ops 6 and other games. But the one thing about Xdefiant is that everyone understood that this is a new attempt for Ubisoft trying to get into the FPS genre. Everybody was willing to give Ubisoft the chance and the time to try and correct this game by the time it released. I remember at the time, whenever the beta came out for Xdefiant, I was actually working at a Target distribution warehouse. So many of my buddies was hot for this game. They were like, you're gonna play the new Xdefiant game coming out, the new COD Killer, the new FPS genre. It's looking a lot better than COD. At this time, back in April of 2023 when the closed beta come out, everybody was tired of Call of Duty. MW2 was awful. MW3, I don't think I need to talk about that. And, everybody was tired of Call of Duty at that time. Nobody wanted to play COD. Everybody wanted something refreshing and something new, something that had good graphics. It's so hard to find a game like Call of Duty that has the same kind of, similar playstyle, similar good graphics. It's hard to find a shooter like that. And then Ubisoft came out of nowhere in the blue, and they answered all the gamers' questions. And sure, the closed beta, it wasn't perfect or nothing like that. We had a lot of creators that played the closed beta, they made YouTube videos on it, they updated us on it. Eventually, the open beta would release a little bit later, but first, people talked about, the closed beta. They talked about connection issues that prevented players from even entering into the main menu, which is kind of, breaking. But hey, it was a closed beta, so what are you gonna do? In addition, the matchmaking would not often work after a match. The progression of a player's, weapon and challenges would bug out and not save. Obviously, these issues were fixed by release and everything, but it wasn't enough to save the game in the end. Jump forward a little bit later from, I think, June 21st to June 23rd of 2023, we had the open beta that came out, and honestly, they fixed a lot of the issues that was in the closed beta and stuff. I think they even gave us a few new maps to experiment on during the open beta, but the thing is, though, is that the netcode was so god-awful, and honestly, they never really fixed that in the game. Eventually, the game got a full release on May 21st of 2024, and honestly, by this time, I almost forgot about the game coming out at this point. I had just seen it one day on PlayStation on the PS5, and I was like, you know what, let me download this game because I heard about it. But that's the thing though, they didn't really do a good job of marketing this game, Ubisoft. They just kind of talked about it, let it die into history after the beta, the open and closed beta, and then it just released one day in May. And I mean, sure, you can go to the comments and say, oh no, well, I was waiting for this game to come out. Well, you're probably one of the 10,000 people that's still playing the game too then. Ever since the game's release, I played it through Season 1 pretty thoroughly, honestly. I'm pretty sure I got on maybe 10 days after it came out, maybe 15 days. But I played Season 1 all the way through, and I will say this, in the whole 5 or 6 years of, battle passes being a thing, I didn't want to buy it. But the thing is, though, is that Season 1 for some reason was fun in this game, and I really enjoyed it, so I decided to get the Battle Pass. I unlocked the entire Battle Pass, and I actually enjoyed the game. The guns were fun. Don't get me wrong, some of the stuff needed to be balanced out, but it was fun. And, towards the end of Season 1 right there, we had a feeling that Season 2 wasn't going to be like that. A lot of players was kind of worried about the direction that Ubisoft was going in. And now, Season 2 released and is doing absolutely awful right now. I personally, as an Xdefiant player, and I still say that I enjoy this multiplayer more than Black Ops 6 sometimes, I have quit playing this game midways through Season 2. And the reason why is because Season 2 is honestly garbage. Season 2 barely introduced anything new. I mean, we got that map Waterfront, which was received mildly. Some people love it and think it's one of the best maps, and some people hate it. I'm kind of towards the middle. You can get good games that play on it good, and then some matches you're just getting dominated by people that's using Cronus. So that's fun. But, you know, there just feels like there was a disconnect between the developers and the fans during Season 2 right here. If you look at the Battle Pass for Season 2, almost every single special skin, with air quotes, special skin you can get, is like a flower gun, or like a flower skin for your gun. And no offense to Ubisoft, I don't know what kind of agenda they're trying to push down people's throats right now, but, you know, flowers on every single gun, that's cool if it's on 1 or 2 guns, but I'm saying every single gun skin for the Battle Pass in Season 2 was a gun that had flowers rotating on it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what they were thinking. This Battle Pass looks like dog crap, and if you don't care about the Battle Pass, that's fine, because they did a lot of other stuff in Season 2 that also is just horrendous. And just to give you guys an idea, Bomb, which is like the search and destroy game mode of this game, was supposed to release with the game's full release. Then they wasn't able to do it because Ubisoft didn't know how to make a kill cam. That's literally it. And spectator mode. Like, Ubisoft didn't know how to make you spectate your, you know, allies after you die on Bomb. That just doesn't make any sense to me, because that's been done since 2007 for Call of Duty. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And they have Rainbow Six Siege, which has kill cams and stuff, and also like where you can spectate your allies when you die. I don't understand what Ubisoft's problem was in trying to design a kill cam or like spectating your allies. It makes no sense that they can't figure out how to operate and how to do that. And also, one of the biggest issues that I see in this game is visual bugs. One of the biggest ones that I kept encountering, if I got a video clip of it, I'll put it up on screen, or at least a picture to show you guys what I'm talking about off Google. But there's a big game-breaking bug that happened when Season 2 dropped, that every time you scope in your rifle right here, there was no red dot reticle in the middle of your gun. So you were aiming with a blank scope and could barely do anything. And the thing is, though, you think that leaving the game would fix it, right? No, it doesn't. You would leave the game and go back into another match with somebody else, and you still wouldn't have a scope. Then you might think, oh, maybe if I restart my game, you know, it'll fix itself. No, it still wouldn't fix itself. You know, it would happen to me for an entire night sometimes, and I would just be forced to play like that. That's not fun for any gamer to have to do, especially when I'm talking to my cousin on the microphone, and his is working completely fine. That doesn't make any sense to me, and it's not fair to other players and stuff. This game has so many bugs in it. On top of that, if you look at the charging handle on this assault rifle right here that I'm like this person's using on this class, you can see visual glitches of like the little charging handle moving back and forth. There's so many visual bugs in this game, it's not even funny. And I forgot what the biggest one was, but there was a visual glitch on the spectator mode that whenever you would die and bomb and spectate your teammate, every time they would aim in with their gun, it had like a giant, weird, pixelated figure. I don't even know how to describe it. If I can find a picture of that, I'll put it up too. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then, talking about one more thing right here. I mean, I'm going on a rant right now for Xdefiant, but one more thing that we gotta talk about right here is the hackers. And the thing is, if you're hacking in this game, why? This game isn't even worth hacking, that's the thing. You got people sitting over here hacking, I'm assuming they're using Cronus Zens and Cronus Maxes. They're sitting there on Cronuses, getting like 30 kills, which I do got video proof though that this one guy was a hacker all the way. Like, he had super sprint on, he was able to run around the map, he dropped like 42 kills with a sniper rifle and had super sprint, so he could just run around the map and never die. Like, and this game's only been out for like not even half a year. That is so pathetic that all these issues that I've named off, keep that in mind, has happened in half of a year. That's so pathetic for any game to have to be like that. You know what's really funny is that I ended up buying The Division 2 about a year ago. I know it's been out for a while, but I bought it a year ago to play with my cousin and stuff, and we had a good time in it. It was kind of fun to go in the dark zones. The multiplayer was kind of fun. I know the game's more focused on, you know, the story and stuff, so it's not really meant to be focused on multiplayer, but I will say this, that game sucked, and you could really see it then that Ubisoft was already starting to fail. Once I bought that game a year ago, I quickly realized, why did I buy this game? The game was like not fun after 2 days. Like Far Cry, New Dawn, The Division 2, Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws. Like, there is so many games recently that they have like dropped the bomb on Ubisoft. So I mean, I'm not trying to put all the blame on Xdefiant right here, and I'm not trying to blame Ubisoft either for saying, you know, they've been doing so bad, maybe they didn't have enough team members to help out the Xdefiant's crew. You know, that's not the case though. I don't. They could have put more focus onto this game, and they also could have put more focus on the Far Cry game. Everything that Ubisoft has released in the past, like, I'd say, what, 3 years now, maybe 4 years, has been kind of dog crap. Like, Far Cry 6, it's a great game. I don't think that it's a bad game at all. I think that Far Cry 6 is good. They had a famous actor come in, and see, they're trying to pull out tactics like that, where they're trying to pull out famous actors and get you to play their game, and it still didn't work. And Far Cry 6 still didn't sell as well as they thought it was going to. It's really sad to see them trying to attempt all these different business strategies, and nothing has been working. And you jump forward to now, and Xdefiant is actually in its sunset phase right now, which means that they're in the process of shutting the game down right now. So the game is officially going to shut down on June the 3rd. 2025. But what really doesn't make any sense to fans is the fact that they actually said that they will be moving along with Season 3, and honestly the reason why is probably because they've already developed the entire season, and now they realize the game sucks because Season 2 is just a catastrophe. But I don't know what this means. If they're going to release Season 3, you know, you can't make any purchases, so if they have a battle pass for Season 3, it's already out the window because you can't even unlock everything, so screw that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what the game is thinking right now, because I mean, if you're gonna shut down, that's cool. I mean, the thing is though, is why would you even release Season 3, you know what I'm saying, I mean, no one's gonna be able to buy anything, no one's gonna be having fun, and the thing is though, what if Season 3 does well and has over 1 million active players again? Does that mean that they'll go back and be like, oh, never mind, we're actually going to keep the game open now? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you can see that Ubisoft as a whole right now just doesn't know what they're doing. And see, that's the bad thing right now. Not only is Xdefiant shutting down, obviously this video is about Xdefiant, so we're talking about that, but Ubisoft in general is about to be sold off to either Tencent or another publisher now because they don't have enough money to keep going. They've made so many bad games throughout the years now and not sold enough that, I mean, they're not even making their money back on their games. But I really don't think they've been making, I don't think that Ubisoft has been net positive for like the past 5 years at least now, because they've been releasing some awful stuff like Watch Dogs Legions. Come on, man. And you know what's funny is ever since Watch Dogs 1 came out a long time ago, I enjoyed Watch Dogs 1, but even that game did not sell well. Watch Dogs 2 did even worse, and then I don't know why Ubisoft continues to pander on with the same IPs even though they're not doing good. I don't understand. I don't see why they don't just keep the servers up. Like, there are so many games, like the old Call of Duty games, that like they still keep the servers up on it, you know what I'm saying? So people can always go back and play. But I think that Ubisoft is really just in such a bad position with money right now that they can't do anything. They have to sell the company because they can't even generate enough money to make a new game at this point, which is really sad. I mean, they had big plans for this game. Like, they were going to go into Season 4 with this game, and it looks like that's never going to happen now, which is kind of a sad thing. This game was, like I said, it had its good spots and it had its bad spots. Like, this game is fun to a certain degree. The only thing that we can hope for now is that the game has a good Season 3 somehow. I don't see a lot of players coming back in Season 3. I mean, they're barely able to scrap together 10,000 active players between PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, which is very, very sad. I think that's the only 3 consoles this game's on. I don't believe it's on Nintendo Switch, which I will say that Ubisoft also missed the mark on that to get more players in it, because Sony just did a conference type thing recently where they figured out how many people was still playing on PS4 and older generation consoles. Over 60% of Sony's players are still on either PS4, and they even had 1 million people on PS3. But what I'm trying to bring up here is the fact that when Xdefiant released, this game is easy to run. It's not that hard. It looks like Rainbow Six Siege graphics. It is not that hard to run. They should have released this game on the PS4 and the Xbox One to like generate more players and stuff. It's just that Ubisoft has been making so many bad decisions. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like someone as naive and stupid as me in the gaming industry could give Ubisoft advice and actually help them out at this point, which is crazy. This little mini documentary type thing that I made right here on Xdefiant took around 2 days for me to film in total, so like this is filmed over the course of 2 days. And you know, I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video. I really enjoyed making this style of video versus the regular stuff that we make, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, make sure you go down below, comment with me. I love to respond to all the comments and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys watching this video about Xdefiant, and sadly, we can bid this game farewell now because this game will go off into the sunset, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to pick up the controller for this game again. I quit halfway through Season 2. If Season 3 has anything interesting at all, like maybe a new map, maybe a new gun, I might hop on. I might do a few streams on it. We'll see. But as for right now, it looks like everyone in the world is going to be shutting this chapter on Xdefiant. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.